It's safe to say Arkansas has some of the best coaches around, from Dave Van Horn, Sam Pittman, Mike Neighbors, to Eric Musselman and Lance Harder. They're all great at what they do, but have you ever wondered what sport they would secretly like to coach, even if it's just for a week?
I think I would. I'm such a big football person. I think I would maybe be a Sam Pittman for a week. I think it's the challenge of it, having all of the balls that you have to juggle, the demands of what that requires, but also, learning how to coach and impact such a large group of people. We have a team of 9. That's a team of, 80, 90, 100 people, and having to learn how to do that. But, to also be in Reynolds Stadium on game day in front of 80,000 people, I can't even imagine what that would be like.
I could have seen myself, being a high school football coach and then maybe gravitate to more, who knows how it would have gone. The thought of coaching a sport with a clock does not excite me. The end of games at basketball, pretty stressful. A foul here, do you foul him so he can't shoot a 3? All the little things. Football, I could see a little more. You're not going to see me coaching soccer or softball. They do a great job, and I appreciate the efforts of all the coaches. Golf would have been nice, maybe. Sean has done a tremendous job here, but, no skills there, not a lot of know-how.
I'd like to coach women's golf. I really would. Being in the business that I've been in for so long, we've watched Shauna's team over the years, and it's definitely low stress golf. They hit the ball very straight. You never have to look for their shots, and it's definitely low stress. So I even told Shauna at the end of the tournament, I said, I want to switch jobs with you. I want to coach your team for a couple of years. So I'd like to coach the women's team.
I don't understand many other sports because my whole life has been all about gymnastics. I'm trying to learn about other sports as much as I possibly can, but you know what? I think every sport has its own unique parts about it, and each one looks fun in a different way. And it's so cool to see, even on our campus, just with track and cross country and Coach Harder doing such amazing things. It's really inspirational to be here and to be a part of a program that's winning national championships throughout the year. It really inspires me to get in my office and in the gym every day and work as hard as I can to contribute to that energy and that enthusiasm.
Another sport that I sympathize with as well as respect is football. Basketball, 1 or 2 key individuals can make a huge difference. Track and field, for that matter, if you have 2 superstars, you can have impact in the top 10 in the nation. Baseball, if you've got 2 great pitchers, you can shut everybody else down on weekends. But football takes so many bodies. And depth is such a huge factor. I think that is one that's a task that takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of time, and you better have an eye for talent.
Women's softball. I love, ever since they came out on TV with the softball World Series, it's the most exciting thing in the world. And I watch it every single year, and if I'm not able to watch it live, I'll tape it. But I just love women's softball. I've been out to a game here, and certainly they're doing a nice job here. Good job, great job. But I just love softball.
I would say maybe volleyball. I love volleyball. It was the other sport I played growing up, but I just love watching it. I love the athleticism. I love the pace of it. I love all of it. So I would say volleyball.
Were you a setter?
I set a little, and I was an outside hitter as well. I know I don't have the height. I also don't have the hops, but I would compete, and I would hit it as hard as I could.
Mine's easy. It's Kobe Hill and our soccer team. I know 0.0 about the sport of, but to watch them organize their practices and how they do things and the way they travel, it's fascinating to me. I couldn't do it that way just because I don't know how to do it that way, but I'm fascinated by stuff he does, and I'm always trying to pick up one little thing or two from him.
It's really fun for me to see Van Horn. If I were to probably say I want to model it after this, he's built it into you could argue the best baseball job in the country, you know, and certainly Coach DeBryan built a huge foundation for that. But even to see it grow since I've been here in 6 years, 7, 8 years, I mean, the fan support is crazy. And you know what he's built that into, just something where you could say this is maybe the best in the country in terms of game day experience and number of fans. But yeah, I mean, I could take something from every coach on campus and try to incorporate it and model after what we do.
Oh, easy, easy. My dad was a basketball coach. I'm a coach because of my dad and because of basketball. And I want to be Coach Musselman so bad I can't hardly see. And to have him here, you know, I've known about him and his dad for decades. And to watch him be able to work is just something that's incredible for me. And I really wish I was him.
I would love to put on the baseball uniform for a day and help Coach Van Horn. I love baseball. That was something my dad and I, that was like, you know, going to baseball games, going to San Diego Padre games was a big part of my youth. So I have a special feeling for baseball.
Can't you just imagine Coach Musselman arguing with an umpire over a play at the plate? Well, next on Hogtails, we'll flip the script and we'll find out what sports these coaches want no part of. Welcome back. There's no doubt the Arkansas coaches know their own sports inside and out. But they also enjoy watching the other programs around campus compete, so we asked them which sport or skill they really admire.
I have great respect for anybody that goes up to the batter's box and has a 95-plus ball thrown at you, especially inside. To stand in there and try to not only hit it, but also be able to focus on it. That's an amazing skill.
Some of the more aerobic sports like soccer, like man, they just run constantly. Like you have to be so fit and so, you have such great endurance for that sport. I really admire just athletes that have a different skill set than gymnasts do because, like I said, I've been a part of gymnastics since I was 4 years old, so it's pretty much all I know. So I watch their sports and it really makes me think, I wonder what they do at practice. I wonder what they do to get that, and it's really inspiring for me to go to other events and just kind of see and admire just, you know, the challenges and the different talent levels and skills of every sport.
It's gymnastics. I got to be, I guess you could say I was asked to go to a preseason and kind of be a fake judge, so to speak, so I was right up on the action. Raising 2 daughters, I can't see them out there flipping around, and that balance beam, are you serious? I mean, that's scary. Those girls are tough now, and yeah, that's one sport that I don't think a lot of people realize how tough it is and how mentally tough you have to be to throw your body around like that.
Gymnastics, number 1. And number 2, the pole vaulters, the high jumpers, the folks like that over on our track team. It's just amazing to me how they physically can do what they can do.
I tried to play baseball, and Coach DeBryan, we've told this story many times, told me my career was over, which he was right, and I thank him for it every time I see him. But I'm going to tell you the one I cannot identify myself with, and that is our golfers. You know, just those up and downs from off the edge of the green that they make look so flawless. I practice that all the time. I hit golf balls in my backyard to my dogs when I'm bored, and I can't even one time pull off those shots. And they make it look so routine, and that's a skill that I don't think I will ever probably have much confidence in, is chip shots around the green.
Is there any program you would want no part of, even if it was on a limited basis?
I want any part of football except for maybe the salary. I know nothing about football, and it seems to be an incredibly difficult thing to do, to manage, you know, 100 players and multitude of coaches, and everybody in Arkansas is a football coach, you know, in terms of the fans. So, no, I'll try to stick to basketball, and basically I better stick to tennis. It's probably the only thing I know anything about.
Gymnastics. I would want no part of coaching gymnastics. I think Jordan's done an incredible job. They are so athletic and so talented, but that sport just scares me. We always talk about it with our team because It just takes such a level of athleticism, but it also takes a little bit of having that, like they don't have that fear gene, you know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. They do a really good job with the mental piece of it, but it's like when you decide to like flip your body over a beam, you have a lot of faith and a lot of confidence in yourself, and I just wasn't born with that. I had that fear gene.
Neil Harper and our swimming team, that would be the one I have nothing, even though I was a swim coach at Bentonville High School back in the day, I'm still not a very good swimmer, so that was one I could never do.
How does somebody who's not good at swimming become a swimming coach?
You miss a meeting. You show up late for the very beginning of the season and you're the rookie first-year head coach, and you get told that you know, you're the swim coach for a $100 stipend for the year and practice starts at 4:30, to which I said I can't do because I start basketball practice at 3 and we're not done yet. And he goes, yeah, no, the other 4:30. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, the AM one is when you start practice. So yeah, you miss a meeting, you show up late, and you're a rookie head coach. But you're luckily you're around a bunch of kids who are now in the Olympics and swimming all over the world, and they won us about 6 or 7 state championships, and I drove the bus.
I think the football is very tough with the schedule that they play every year, and having to wake up every year knowing that you have to play LSU and Alabama and Auburn every year. The football, just the fact that they have such a tough division. I'll let Coach Pittman take care of that for the next 10 years.
I hate to say it, you know, I was a PE teacher, but I don't understand soccer I don't understand it. So if I went out there, I wouldn't be a very good coach at it.
I mean, I love watching soccer. I don't know anything about it. I could never coach it, but I like the spacing and the passing. You know, I think that basketball and soccer have a lot of similarities, although one's using their hands and the other's using their foot. But I do think from a strategic standpoint, when you look at the spacing and the flow of the game and not a lot of timeouts and there's no huddles or there's no between innings stuff, there are a lot of similarities, although again, I don't know anything about the sport.
Regardless of their sports skill set or their roster size, all of these Razorback coaches appreciate each other and are always there to lend their support.
Every coach has my utmost respect. You know, I mean, it's fun to see Shauna build a golf program to where it feels like a disappointment that she doesn't win a national championship. You know, and I talk with Bucknam, and you know, when I first got here, we were struggling to find an identity. We didn't have any history. And you know, Buck sat down. He's like, "Hey, dude, if you ever want to talk, come talk with me, because I have the exact opposite issue. You know, if I finish second, people see it as failure." So I think we each have different challenges. You know, I love chatting with them all. You know, Mike Neighbors is a great one to talk to. Just, you know, he's taken over a program that he has a real connection to, and there's some challenges in building a program. And what does that cycle look like? And you know, I mean, there's a lot of really, really talented coaches here. And they each have their own, you know, challenges and perspective and way of doing it. That's one of the fun things. You know, if you talk with was there 15, 16 coaches, they all have different personalities. They all have different ways of doing it. And it's kind of fun to learn from each of them.